Hello, welcome to Healthy Living Fitter channel. My name is Florence Tracker. In today's video, I will be showing you how to cook jollof rice and plain rice. I made the stew already. I made the jollof stew already, and I'm just gonna incorporate how you add the stew with the rice and cook it and the way it comes out. So that's what I'll be showing you in this video. And also I'll be making a plain rice which you can eat with the stew that we made. And so stay tight, just watch how I put everything together so you can make some for yourself. So I will see you right here. Okay, so I have 3 cups of water boiling. This is what we're going to be using for the plain rice that I'll be cooking, and I have these that I'll be using for the jollof rice. So as the water is boiling, I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of butter into the boiling water, and then I have 2 cups of white rice. That's what I'll be cooking here. So I'm going to drop that in the boiling water, and I am just going to stir this, and then as I stir, I'm going to leave this on to boil vigorously for 5 minutes. It's going to boil for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to stir it, cover it, and just let it cook through on a low heat. So now it's on a high heat. Cook. All right, so now that is boiling, we're going to use 1 cup of water in addition to the stew that we'll be using. So I'm going to add a little bit to this. The pan is on heat already, and so I'm going to take some of the stew that I made and I'm going to put it in here. It depends on how much jollof you want, or how much you want it. So I take 3, 4, I have 5. It doesn't matter, you just eyeball it. Depends on how much you want, how much rice you have. I have 3 cups of rice, so that's what I'll be using. And so this is the rice, 3 cups. I'm going to just put it in here. I dump all in. I'm going to add the water, the remaining water, and I am going to stir. And as you can see, the stew is all mixed up with the rice. You mix everything up. We don't need to add any salt or anything to this. All the flavor, everything is already in the stew. So that's what we are using, and you just stir this. All right, now that is stirred, you can add more stew. If you think the stew is not enough, you can add more. So I'm going to add more stew here. All right, so I added more stew, and I'm just gonna stir this again, and this should be enough. You can see, and I'm just going to add so we add 1.5 cup of water to this. All right, so then we're just gonna let this boil also for 5 minutes, vigorously for 5 minutes, and we're gonna stir, and we're gonna cover it and let it cook between 15 to 20 to 30 minutes for this rice to cook nicely the way we want it. Right, and I'm going to stir the white rice. It's about to stick, but because it's on high, we're going to lower that down. All right, so we stir this nicely so nothing sticks at the bottom. All right, so now that is cooked, I'm just going to lower the heat to 2. So it's on 2, and we're just going to let this cook. I'm going to cover this. I'm going to add a little bit of water, and then I'm just going to cover this, and we put it on 2, and this is on high. The jollof rice is on high now, and we're just gonna keep an eye on it because there is not much water with this. We are just cooking this with stew and then a little bit of water, 1.5 cup of water for 3 cups of rice, and then with the stew you just manage how much stew you want in the rice. So that's what we did, and we're just gonna keep an eye on this because it's not good. You see how it started boiling. All right, so I'm going to cover this so it doesn't splash everywhere, and we can lower it. I'm going to lower this to actually on 4, and then just let it boil. And this one you have to keep stirring because of the stew, everything that is in there. You don't want it to stick underneath the pan. So I'm going to stir this a little. At least for every I would say 5 minutes. Just stir it depending on how much heat you have underneath this. We just turn it down to 4. So I'm gonna leave it like that, and then I'm just gonna cover this, let it boil for 5 minutes. I'll come back, I'll open this, and we'll see how it is, and we'll stir it again and cover it until it's all cooked out. Everything is soft out. The white rice is still cooking. I'm going to stir just one more. All right. So now what I do is I'm going to I use a plastic cover to cover the top, so the heat will remain in, and the top will also cooked all together once we open this up again. So I'm going to cover this for now. Alright, so the plastic I'm going to use is going to be, I'm using the cling wrap. I just take a little and then cut it, and then I'm going to just fold it in a little bit, one and a half like that, and I'm going to open this rice and I'm going to cover this on top right here. So when you do it this way, the heat stays in, it doesn't come out. So once it's like that, and then it's going to cook through all the way, all the top is all going to cook. Once we open, it's not gonna be, it won't be like the underneath is cooked and then the top is not cooked. So we just cover this, and we're going to put this on very low as 1 or 2. We're going to leave it on 1.5. So it's going to be a slow cook. It's not going to be too much heat for the rice to bend. So that's what we are looking for. We don't want it to bend the rice. So now we have the jollof rice is also boiling, and it is something you need to be stirring every now and then so it doesn't stick in the bottom. And also we do not have too much heat underneath to bend the bottom before it's cooked. So you want to be mindful of that. And now we're just gonna leave it on. It's now on 6. I put it on 6, and I'm just going to cover this for now. We're gonna be using the wrap, the cling wrap also for these once the water has exceeded a little bit before we do that. So I'll see you back here, I will say in 10 minutes to see, 7 minutes to see how, or I'll see you back here in 5 minutes. Okay, now we are going to open this, and I'm going to stir this. It's getting sticky. You can see. All right, and then the next thing I'm going to do is, because we have to cook this on a slow heat because we don't want it to burn without cooking, so I am going to cover this with the shrink wrap. That way the heat will stay, the heat will not escape, and that will help it to cook through. And we will come back here and see this in at least 10 minutes. So I am going to add the shrink wrap to this, and I'm just going to fold this in a little half like this, that it will cover every inch of this. I have a rice cooker, but I don't use it because I like to, just a homemade like this, I like to cook my rice just like this on a stove top. So we're just gonna leave this like this and just cover it so the heat will stay and it will cook it all through. We're gonna take a look at the white rice and see how it's doing as well. All right, now we can see. We're just gonna stir one more. You can actually see that it's cooked. It's cooked nicely. I know using the rice cooker, it's easier to cook your rice, but for me, I want to cook it on stove top. I want to feel it. I want to stir it and all that. So now we're gonna leave this on as for another 10 minutes also. Then we're gonna cover this back. Make sure that it's covered all around, and it's gonna cook the rice through for us so the heat doesn't so everything will cook through. All right, and this is turned on 2. I just put it on 2 so it will slow cook, and this is on, now I put it on 1, so then it will just slow cook, so it will cook through, it will not bend. We will have all the rice we want from here. So I will see you back here in 10 minutes. All right, so it's been 10 minutes and I am just going to take this off. I'm going to take the wrap off. I'm going to use this spoon to stir this. Okay, now you can see, let me use this plastic. Okay, now we can see it's cooking slowly and it's not sticking in the bottom because the heat is not that much. We just want this to, the the heat to cook it nicely for us. So I'm gonna stir this and make sure everything went back in, and so we can see the rice is coming along nicely. All right, and I'm going to cover this again, and we're gonna let it cook for another, say, 10 minutes, and I will come back here and see how it's doing. We're just gonna cover this with the string, the clinch wrap again, covers it all. All right, and I'm going to cover this, and we're gonna take a look at the white rice too to see how the rice this is done. All right, the white rice is already done. We can see it's soft. Oh yes, it is done. All right, yeah, it is really soft, and this is how I want it. It's a little together, you know, a little starch in it, and I like it this way. So this is done. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the heat off. All right, so now that this white rice is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump this whole thing in here, and you can see with the rice, you see we have a little, in Ghana we call these kanzo. It's like the bent, a little bent at the bottom, and I love this. I love this. So this is the final product of our rice. It is done, and the actual rice is right here. As you can see right here, we have our rice. So, and then I am going to just take a little bit of this. All right, so I'm going to take some and put it in this plate. As you can see, it's ready. Just a little of this, and this is the stew, and all I'm going to do is add a little stew to this rice, the stew that we made, just like that. And as you can see, this is lovely, looks so nice. All right, so I am going to taste the rice for you to see and see how everything comes together. Everything incorporated, everything is thick, so good. So that's how you make white rice and stew. The stew we just made, this is another way you can use this stew. So I want you to make this plain rice and make the stew, and let me know in the comment section below how yours came out or what you think about the stew and everything. I like the bent, like the bottom that is a little bit bent. I like that because you get that little crunchy to it. Not many people like this, but in Ghana, when we make meals, when we cook rice, everybody's fighting for the bottom because it has a crunchiness to it, and it's something you chew, and we just love it. So that's a white rice for you. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think about it. I will see you. All right, so we are coming back to check on our rice. We are going to stir. You can see, yeah, you can see that it is cooked. It's cooking nicely. It's getting softer. Oh, this is lovely. Look at the color, everything in here, how we want it. And it is. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this on for another 5 minutes, and then we will come back and see how it finally came out. So just 5 more minutes, and I'm going to cover it again with the plastic. I'm just gonna cover this again for another 5 minutes, and we'll be back soon. All right, so we are coming to take a look at this rice, and at this moment our jollof rice is done. It's ready. You can see the texture, everything. It's clean, it's neat. So you can see all the ingredients that was in the stew. Everything is in here, so it is done for us. So I'm gonna off this, and what I'm going to do is I am going to just dump this right in here, and you can see that is our jollof rice. It is done. You see the little bend, the little bend here, and that's what I'm looking for. Not too much bend, but just a little. And if you compare this to our plain rice, so we have our jollof rice, and then we have our plain rice. All right, so we have our final product of the jollof rice. The bent one, you can just push it aside. If you are not used to eating the bent one, that's okay. Just push it aside and get your own rice, and you can see right here, everything is done the way I want it. So you can make this the way you want. So now this is all there is. We're gonna take a piece. You can see the meat, everything that we put in it in the rice already. And I'm gonna take some of that. And this is jollof rice. This is it. This is how you make your jollof rice. It comes out so nicely. You can see everything, all the meat, all the ingredients is still in the rice. And then with that, and then we're gonna be adding more stew to this. So the stew that we made, we are going to add a little to this jollof rice. Some people can just eat it like this. I like to add more stew to it for myself. And as you can see, and our jollof rice is ready to go. And then this is the plain rice that we make as well. This is the plain rice and then the jollof rice. And both of these I made earlier. You can see all these together, and it's just a different color the way you cook it. So we have the jollof rice here, which goes with this jollof rice that we made, and then we have the plain rice, which is this plain rice, and then you have this plain rice. So it's just a different way of cooking the rice and in a different method, because this we use stew to cook it, so it changed the color instead of white to this brown color, because the stew is brown and everything else that changed the color. But it's the same process that you use to cook any rice. It's just the way, the method and the ingredients, what you want to put in this rice. So I am going to taste this jollof rice and we will see how everything comes together. All right, so now the jollof is ready and I am going to give it a taste. This is really good, nice. It looks delicious and yummy. So I'm going to taste this. This is really good. I would love for you to try this and see, and just let me know what you think. We have both rice. We have the white rice and we have the jollof rice. They all comes out nicely, and the jollof spice is in there. You can taste the spice. And then the white rice, and all of this, it just gives you a different taste. The stew is still the same, but this is just a plain rice with the stew on it. And then this is just a jollof rice that we use the stew to cook the rice with, so it changed color. So this is Ghana jollof rice, this is Ghana plain rice, all with stew and meat. So enjoy. Let me know in the comment section below what you think, and I would love you to make this and try it and see, and leave a comment for me if you like this video, or if this video helped you in any way. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment in the comment section below for me. I will see you on my next video. Stay healthy, stay blessed. Until next time, bye bye.